I'm almost embarrassed. I mean, here we are. We're on the tiger. You know, a tiger, big, bad, ferocious, man-eating tiger. And Graf has a Yorkie poo that lives at his house.
That's my daughter's.
But I wouldn't have told that.
But I may have a picture.
No, don't. That'll scar me. There's some things you can't unsee.
So you,
you know what I'm saying?
So if it's not loud,
if you accidentally walked in on your grandmother in the shower, that's there from now on.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't unsee that. I don't want to see a Yorkie poo. I'm sorry. Okay.
You know, a Yorkie poo kind of looks like a cross between a mink and a bottle brush. So,
welcome to Hooking Up and Tracking Down. This segment is brought to you by Bayou Outdoors Super Center, Mustang Survival, Daiwa Rods and Reels, and BioBore Fuel Treatment. And thanks again for joining us today.
We're going to be like Cy Robertson. You know when he had that episode where he took his big poodle out, Dove retriever.
You know what? They say that they make good retrievers like that.
Huh.
Yeah.
My Yorkie poo's going to be retrieving, baby.
If your hunting buddies don't beat you up.
That's like me. You know, the first time that I ever picked up a bubble gum trick worm and threw it, I felt like I was playing for the other team. I just felt so weird.
Felt like be wearing a skirt.
Did I get something on me? You know. My name is Gary McCoy. Along with us is the Ranger Pro Staffer, Daiwa Pro Staffer, Steve Graf. And back in the studio again today, he is the old mud hen, Mike Eccles. And, of course, several things coming up on today's show that you definitely... I forgot about him.
Yeah.
What'd we call him?
Stink bait.
Yeah, I've forgotten. Well, we weren't here last week. We were over at Silver Star Smokehouse.
Yeah.
And that's how long my memory is. You know, I mean, you go 2 weeks.
And we thought about him last week.
Yeah, we did.
You know, when we were eating barbecue sandwiches. Sorry about that.
Steve, I'm going to tell you, not you, Steve.
Yeah, okay.
The good Steve here.
I'm sorry.
I've never figured it out. We've got Gary McCoy, disc jockey. We got the Ranger Pro Staffer. I become the mud hen, and you become stink bait.
Yeah.
Now I really don't think that you're and my agent would appreciate the nicknames we've been dubbed with.
Yeah, there is. You see how that happens.
I do have another nickname. Slip Sinker is my other radio name.
Well, I got a nickname that Julie calls me, but we're not going to say that on the radio.
Shorty.
Did she talk to you? Hey, listen, several things coming up on. Yeah, there we go. Coming up on today's show, we're going to interview the Texas High School State TBF champions, Will Brady and Joe BeeBee. They're supposed to be on here in just a little bit before noon today. Cajun Phil back again this week.
Never a dull moment with Phil.
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
That boy's something else.
Come on, funny feeling.
Come on, funny feeling. Also, a real treat for us, the Prieferts are back on from Priefert's Backwood Bloodline. Actually, they have a new name.
Yeah.
It is called the Prieferts.
The Prieferts. That's going to be the name of the show this fall.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. It's a good name.
And which one's going to be with us?
Oh, we don't know. It's we have a choice of 3, so he didn't know which one.
Okay.
Whichever one was less busy. So
when we had to say Priefert's Backwoods Bloodline, it kind of became a tongue twister.
Oh, no doubt.
Cupcake cut a promo and said Blackwoods. That we didn't catch for a while.
The Prieferts will be hard to mess up.
Yeah. Well, I'll try.
We did that for. Johnny Guy's going to be back on again this week. He says the fish are tearing it up on Lake Fork.
He's smoking them.
I'm telling you.
Smoked them himself yesterday.
Well, you know what? They had one day, week before last. What'd they catch? They had 2 over 8 in one outing. I mean, they fished like that morning, and they had 2 over 8. I want to see there was 17, 18 fish. Maybe one of those was over 10. It was an unreal kind of
His
a morning.
best 5 yesterday would have weighed 30 pounds. His best 5.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Is he catching those on the brim?
I don't know. We're going to find out here in about 45, 50 minutes.
And Elite Series Pro Kevin Short will be on. I've always enjoyed watching him compete.
Yeah.
Real
great
analytical,
guy.
smart guy.
Yeah, great
and,
guy.
And he's going to share some of that intelligence with us about hearing loss from running your boat at high speeds. I want to talk to him about the difference in a 4-stroke and a 2-stroke. How, because the 4-stroke is so much quieter.
Okay. You got to understand something. It's not engine noise necessarily that's the problem.
Really?
It's the wind noise going through your ears.
That's what we got to find out.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
You outrun your engine noise.
Do you really? Yeah,
that's
you're
true.
always in front of it.
That's exactly right.
I'll be done.
But,
well, you know what? There's something else that you wanted to say, or you want to talk about here in a sec. But I gotta get some advice from you two real quickly before.
About what?
What?
I can tell you what restaurant to go eat at.
No. When
it comes to food, I know where to go.
Yeah, I know you do. But wife Julie, we've been talking about. Man, it's getting rough in this world. Yeah. And I want her. I just noticed that the Caddo Sheriff's Department is going to hold another concealed handgun class May the 2nd. 8 a.m. to like 2 o'clock that afternoon, somewhere along in there. They offer the training that you've got to have to be able to get your concealed handgun license.
And put that on our calendar.
Yeah. I've got that info. I'll get it for you.
Okay.
But you can call the Sheriff's Department. You've got to register with them to begin with. But May the 2nd, they'll hold this course. And Julie and I have been talking about getting her a pistol because, I just don't want her out, shopping and in a situation where she doesn't have any way to defend herself. I mean, I married a midget. She's 5'2" on a tall day.
And it don't matter where you go now. My brother-in-law this past weekend in Lafayette at a baseball tournament got his Suburban broke into. They took a boom box out of the back end.
Wow.
They took his son's bat bag, and another buddy of mine, Van Wiggins, the sponsor for the NAC Central fishing team, the head coach for that team, had his vehicle broke into in Lafayette same weekend.
Wow.
They took his college baseball glove and his son's bat bag and something else, and at a baseball tournament.
So you want advice?
I want advice.
What do you want to know?
I want to know, because she is a girl, I want to have I don't know what pistol to get her. Do I get her the Glock? Do I get her a 380? Do I just get her a little 25? I don't want it to weigh her purse down, but I want it to be something that she can get her hands on, that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how to put it on safe, but something that is safe.
That she can handle.
Exactly, and that she can get certified to be able to carry concealed.
Okay. I've got the answer.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with the gun. Put her in the concealed carry class.
Right.
Buy her a pistol, a 380, something.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Before you're doing that, because that's a long process,
Yeah.
get online and look up they're pocket tasers. They're not a taser. They're a stun gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got her one of those.
Okay. A woman... A person is more apt to use one of those than they are to pull a gun and use it on somebody.
Have you met my wife? She'll shoot you just cause.
No. I'm telling you, but you can bring one of those pocket stun guns out, mash the button on it, and 9 out of 10 assailants will run without even touching them. It is that intimidating.
Really?
Wow.
The issue is...
And it makes sense what you said about...
My wife, my daughter... Friends of mine, lady friends of ours, I bought a bunch of people for Christmas those things. They put them in the case, they put them in the glove box.
Yeah.
Just like a gun.
Now,
If you don't have it
on you, it needs to be on you.
I tell them, I say, put it in your hand when you're walking in and out of Walmart.
Right.
Yeah.
Put it in your hand.
Question, do you have to have a concealed carry for that?
No.
So you just buy one and you're good to go.
No.
And all you do is you take it and you charge it 4 times a year. Every spring, summer, winter, fall, you put it in an outlet.
Now, where do you buy those?
You can buy them online. They're Jaguars or the brand I think is Jaguar, and they're like $19.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they will put a grown man that make him wet his pants unconsciously.
I think I want to let her tase me just to see.
That's going to happen right here. Then.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're shooting that on video.
I think I want to do just to see.
I've got one in my truck. Let's do it now.
No, I got. It takes me a little time to build that up, but I think I want to do that just to be able to.
He's got to have something stronger than coffee, Mike. Well, that's gonna happen.
I think I could. I
strongly.
I know that. If you go through the sheriff's department, her dad had to do it. If you go through, you got to get tased. I
know it. Yeah. I wouldn't have got the job.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that either.
You can point a AA battery at me and I'll wet my pants. I cannot stand to be shocked. I cannot stand it.
Oh, Julie broke me. She says, "Done."
It's a one-time thing, though.
Yeah, she's going to hold you to the ground with that taser, and she's going to start asking questions.
Let me ask you this: is that the deal that shoots something out?
No, it's not a stun gun. It does not project. It does not have a projectile.
So you don't have to buy a new projectile. reload it.
No, you don't. It's got 2 probes on the outside. You touch the assailant, you mash the button, and they are toast.
It's like a cattle prod.
Yep.
Oh, man.
And they have a wristband on it, which goes to the breaker. If you carry it the way you're supposed to, with a wristband around your wrist, if an assailant takes it away from you, it pulls the breaker. They can't use it on you.
Wow.
I got to get one of them for my daughters.
That's one of the most important things, because through all the research that I've seen, it's like well over 50% of the time when a person pulls a weapon on an assailant, the assailant winds up using that weapon on the person.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And so like we've always preached, if you're going to pull it, you better shoot it.
Yeah.
But that I need to figure out what.
When we go on this break, I'm going to go outside and get mine out of the truck.
Uh-huh.
When we come back, I'm going to fire it off over the microphone.
Hey, Cupcake.
He wouldn't know what hit him.
Cupcake?
Yeah.
We'll do it. He won't even know.
I'll do it to him.
He's already kind of special.
We'll shoot him in the back.
He'll be wearing a helmet and eating crayons tomorrow.
Real quick, a little fishing news just come out. April 20th. Cross Lake Slot's coming off, brother.
Oh, is it really?
Yep.
Done deal?
Yep. Bayou Black Bay will also be coming off.
Oh, wow.
Cross Lake, Chico, all the lakes that were up for debate on that.
Considered trophy lakes.
So what about Black Bayou? Black Bayou.
Yes. Cypress Black Bayou.
Yeah. Done?
Yep. Done.
Okay, so have they released a uniform creel and size limit?
10-inch. 10 fish is the new creel limit.
It'll be the state law, which is 10 fish limit, no minimum length. Louisiana, except on their border lakes,
right.
Louisiana does not have and never has had a minimum length limit.
All right, now we need to be good stewards of this, because I honestly believe that Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries has given us a bone on this. I understand, and we all agree that at one point there was a need for this, but that we've outlived that need. And so now, we need to just really be careful. I can remember back in the early days of Toledo Bend watching guys literally dump ice chests full of big, beautiful bass all along Highway 171, 191 up and down the lake, and just because the fish were really biting, and then all of a sudden it occurred to them that they were going to have to clean these fish.
Yeah.
Man, we can't
waste.
We can't do that.
Yeah. Don't waste.
I honestly believe, I've got the faith in the people, that the catch and release mentality has been instilled deep enough that there will be, the majority of them will. We need to take the little fish out.
We need to
take the little fish out.
Yeah.
But in the springtime, we still have this group of people that the only way they think they can promote their fishing ability is go home with an ice chest with 3, 4, and 5 pound fish and put a knife to them.
Right.
Put those fish back.
Yeah.
Keep the little ones. Take all the little ones you want home to eat. You can't catch them all. You got to protect your brood fish.
And that's our biggest concern. Wildlife and Fisheries said that's our biggest concern. Will people change their mindset on these bodies of water and take those smaller fish out? That's the challenge they feel like is going to be. They're going to really strongly encourage people to take fish out of the lake.
Okay, before we go to break, if we got a couple of minutes for me to read a story there?
Yeah, go ahead.
30 seconds.
Okay, we're going to take longer than 30 seconds. You just sit back, because I promise you, if you boys don't laugh on this, my wife sent this to me a couple of years ago, and it's part of this is the reason why I think I want to get tased. Are y'all ready?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Pocket taser stun gun. Guy says, great gift for the wife. He recently purchased his lovely wife a pocket taser for their anniversary. He wrote this letter. He says, last weekend, I saw something at Larry's Pistol and Pawn Shop that sparked my interest. The occasion was our 15th anniversary, and I was looking for a little something extra for my wife, Julie. What I came across was a 100,000-volt pocket purse-sized taser. The effects of the taser were supposed to be short-lived with no long-term adverse effect on your assailant, allowing her adequate time to retreat to safety. Way too cool. Long story short, I bought the device, brought it home, loaded 2 AAA batteries in the dang thing, pushed the button. Nothing. I was disappointed. I learned, however, that if I pushed the button and pressed it against a metal surface at the same time, I'd get the blue arc of electricity darting back and forth between the prongs. Awesome. Unfortunately, I have yet to explain to Julie what that burn spot is on the face of her microwave. Okay, so I was home alone with this new toy, thinking to myself that it couldn't be all that bad, right? Only had 2 AAA batteries. There I sat in my recliner, my cat Gracie looking on intently, trusting little soul, While I was reading the directions and thinking that I really needed to try this thing out on flesh and blood, a moving target. Well, I must admit, I thought about zapping Gracie there for a minute, and then thought better of it. She's such a sweet cat, but I was going to have to give this thing to my wife to protect her against a mugger. I did want some assurance that it would work as advertised. Am I wrong?
No.
So there I sat in a pair of shorts and a tank top with my reading glasses perched delicately on the bridge of my nose, directions in one hand, the taser in the other. The directions said that a 1-second burst would shock and disorient your assailant. A 2-second burst was supposed to cause muscle spasms and a major loss of bodily control. And a 3-second burst would purportedly make your assailant flop on the ground like a fish out of water. Any burst longer than 3 seconds would be wasting the batteries. All the while, I'm looking at this little device measuring about 5 inches long, less than 3/4 inch in circumference, loaded with 2 little bitty AAA batteries. Pretty cute, really. And thinking to myself, there's no possible way. Well, what happened next is almost beyond description, but I'll do my best. I'm sitting there alone, Gracie looking on with her head cocked to one side as to say, "Don't do it, stupid." Reasoning that a 1-second burst from such a tiny little old thing couldn't hurt all that bad, decided to give myself a 1-second burst just for the heck of it. I touched the prongs to my naked thigh, pushed the button, and holy mother of God, weapons of mass destruction. What the? I'm pretty sure Hulk Hogan ran in through the side door, picked me up in the recliner, then body slammed us both on the carpet over and over and over again. I vaguely recall waking up on my side in the fetal position with tears in my eyes, body soaking wet, both nipples on fire, testicles nowhere to be found, with my left arm tucked under my body in the oddest position and tingling in my legs. The cat was making meowing sounds I've never heard before, clinging to a picture frame above the fireplace, obviously in an attempt to avoid getting slammed by my body flopping all over the living room. Note, if you ever feel compelled to mug yourself with a taser, one note of caution: there is no such thing as a 1-second burst when you zap yourself. You will not let go of that thing until it's dislodged from your hand by a violent thrashing about on the floor. A 3-second burst would be considered a conservative. A minute or so later, I can't be sure as time was relative at that point, I collected my wits, what little I had left, sat up, surveyed the landscape. My bent reading glasses were on the mantel of the fireplace. The recliner was upside down and about 8 feet or so from where it originally was. My triceps, right thigh, and both nipples were still twitching. My face felt like it had been shot up with Novocaine, and my bottom lip weighed 88 pounds. I had no control over the drooling. Apparently, I had messed up my shorts, but was too numb to know for sure, and my sense of smell was gone. I saw a faint smoke cloud above my head, which I believe came from my hair, and I'm still looking for my testicles, and I'm offering a significant reward for their safe return. Maybe I better not do that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's too late.
That deal.
It's too late.
Stay close. A little bit about Mr. Twister's 6-inch lizard. It's our product of the week. It's next. Hooking up and tracking down 11:30, The Tiger.
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452. You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Sandtone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities, such as traps, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecore Bridge.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? That's like wearing your high school Letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
This segment presented by Nichols Department Stores, Toledo Fiberglass, Paul's Farm and Garden, and J&J Exterminating. Got pests? Call J&J. Speaking of pests, here's Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles.
Did you go get the taser?
I did. This is embarrassing.
I know you did.
This is embarrassing. I told you that you only have to plug it in and charge it 4 times a year, winter, spring, summer, and fall.
You forgot.
I forgot spring. I pulled it out and it sparked one time and the battery went down.
Oh, no. Can you charge it up in here?
Yeah, I've got it on charge right now.
Okay, good. So we will get to see that before it's all said and done.
We will have sparks before the show is over.
Cupcake volunteered to be the taser.
Okay, I want you to look real close into this little blue light. Okay.
You're not going to be our victim?
No. Come on.
Man.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm Gary McCoy, along with us, the Ranger Pro staffer Steve Graff, Mike Eccles, and our product of the week. Obviously, we mentioned it before the break, Mr. Twister's 6-inch lizard. This is a perfect time of the year for fishing that.
Great time of year for lizard.
But we've got something that supersedes this.
Well, one of the hottest baits in the last, I don't know how many years since the Cinco type bait has come out, has been that because it just works so well. Well, Mr. Twister's version of it is what they call the Comito. Mm-hmm. Of course, naturally, you can get these at Bayou Outdoor Supercenter over there. It's a stick bait. So, and a bunch of people make them, so why buy the Mr. Twister? Other than a great line of colors, it's the product itself is tougher than some of them. Yeah. You can catch more, and all it is a falling stick-type bait. That's a presentation that triggers a strike.
Have you ever watched, even though we kind of discount it, and just kind of play it off, the action that a stick bait has? Have you ever really watched one in a swimming pool?
Yeah.
That sucker, because it's weightless in most occasions. If you've got if you've got a 10-mile-an-hour wind out there, you might peg it off with a 16th or a 32nd, a foot away from it. But man, let me tell you what, that joker bounces all over in the swimming pool. Like you would not believe. Anywhere that there's any kind of movement, whether it be wind current or just the water itself, it's really weird the way they move.
And it's a great wacky rig.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
I fish my Texas rig a lot, but I know a lot of guys out the back of the boat with me will go wacky. If I'm doing Texas rig, they'll do wacky. And those of you that don't know, wacky rigging is where you hook the hook in the middle of the bait, and it just kind of flops on both ends instead of just one end.
So, the reason to buy Mr. Twister, the product is more durable. You don't lose it on the first fish. You can catch, where a lot of the baits, you can catch one fish or get one bite and you lose the bait. With the Mr. Twister Comito, you can catch 4, 5, 6 fish per bait on it.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing, one of the hot new tricks in the last 12 months since Keith Poche came out with the tail spin, the little bitty spinner that you put in the 3 or 4 of them for $5 in a package. You screw it into the tail of your stick bait, the Comito. On some of the baits, a lot of them, they're so soft, the first time the fish hits it, you lose that dollar tail spin.
Yeah.
Or even if you hook it and the fish shakes, out goes the tail spin. Yeah. With the Comito, being a little more durable, you can catch more fish, you don't lose your bait, you don't lose your tail spin. The final thing that I think is the greatest plus is the price. The price of them compared to some of the higher dollar stick baits.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like if you look at the price of the Comito, it's like going in buying 1 pack of baits and getting a gallon of gas free.
Wow.
That's the difference in the price.
Oh, yeah. Wow. We're talking significant there, especially with
$7.50, $8 for some of the other Cinco type baits.
Yeah.
$3 for this.
Wow.
Okay, question. Bayou Outdoors.
Have they done something? One of the biggest issues when some of the stick baits first came out was your hookups because they didn't have a slot in them. What's Mr. Twister done to try to help the hookup when the fish bites?
Well, it's just the way it's built. You're not going to, a lot of people use too small a hook. Now, if you're using the Camito for a wacky rig, you can use the 1/0 little short shank hook with the fiberglass weed guard on it, which I love to use that because I'm going to get hung up anywhere. But at least a minimum of a 3. I like the 4/0 hook on rigging the Camito Texas rig.
That's what I throw.
4/0 hook.
I was going to say, 4/0 or even the 5/0. That offset hook.
Well, the problem is, especially if you use the lightweight, the thin wire Gamakatsu hook.
Yeah.
That hook doesn't impede the action of the bait. I throw that bait a lot on braid. So I'm using a heavier hook a lot of times. That's why I use either a 3. I will use a 4, like Mike said. That's kind of my favorite hook. But
how well does that cast for you on braid?
Oh, you can throw it sucker. It doesn't, just like any other bait. There's no difference. Okay. It ain't like you can just throw it from here to Cupcake. You can take that sucker and chunk it.
You just think about the weight of
their bait has good weight to it. It's an easy castable, weightless bait.
And one of the new things, the colors, they've got the California 420 and the Camito.
Yeah.
And I've caught more fish on that color this year than what I normally throw, the black and red, or watermelon. It's the 2 colors I throw 90% of the time, but now I'm throwing the California 420 more than either one of those 2 colors.
That's what I threw in Red River a couple of weeks ago with the tail spinner, caught some fish on it. Yeah. And like Mike said, and the problem I had with other baits like that is they throw my darn spinner off because they were so soft. Mm-hmm. I'd lose my spinner. I'm digging for spinners constantly. I'd get to where I'd leave 2 or 3 on the deck of the boat just so I could change them out and put a new one on.
And when that happens, you got... In some of the other stick baits, you got $1 for the bait and $1 for the spinner.
Yeah.
Sure.
You get one bite, you lose $2.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, exactly. I'll tell you what, with the Camito now, if you're accustomed to going over and fishing Cypress Lake a lot, I know a stick bait on Cypress Lake is unbelievable. It's one of the top, one of the first baits I'm going to go to when I pull up on the lake.
Right now, with the Central Open coming up, I can tell you that bait could play a role in this next tournament on Red River because right now, the bass are in the lily pad stems. That's why I throw it on braid. Because when I throw out them lily pad stems and I get hooked up, I can get the fish out of there without breaking off. That's why I like to throw
the only thing about braid, now I'm talking about recreational fishing. The only thing I don't like about braid is when the fish get in the lily pads. There is something about that line singing. When that fish is moving, a big fish is moving through the lily pads and that line, you hear that line like a tight banjo string going through there, and it just cuts the tops of those lily pads off as that fish is moving through there. You don't get that same sound out of braid that you get out of monofilament.
No, I'm going to jerk his jaws in the boat.
Yeah, but I just love that sound.
I'm not worried about that sound. The sound I want to hear is him flopping on the deck of my boat. That's the only sound I want to hear.
I just love that. Okay, so the Camito, you would recommend as far as the California 420.
Great color, by the way.
Get you 4 or 5 bags of those. Just invite us to the fish fry.
Yeah, you can get 1 bag and catch more fish on that at the end of the day than you can with 2 to 3 bags of some of the other stick baits.
What's another hot color from Mr. Twister?
Watermelon red flake.
Can't go wrong with that.
Now they don't. In the pocket crawl, their new color, the color that they've got that nobody else in the world has got, is the blue, flipping blue with the red flake. I don't think he's making that in the.
That's a laminate too, isn't it?
No, not laminate. No.
Okay.
No, it's blue with a red flake, not laminate.
Now the 420 is.
That's okay.
Yeah, right.
That is a laminate.
All right. Well, fantastic stuff.
And they've got them at Bayou Outdoors.
Okay.
Big Dave's got a bunch of them.
And Cypress and the Outdoors and Natchez is carrying them as well for you Southern guys.
Well, you could always jump on their website and do a search for retailers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Along those
probably.
lines. Yeah. We'll give you Daryl Lorent's cell phone number.
Hey, get your T-shirt.
Hey.
Get your T-shirt while you're online. That's what I got on.
Listen, one of the things that you guys had written, and real quickly, I want to get your take on this. What does fishing do for the soul?
Yeah.
What does fishing do?
Well,
for you. Specifically you, Steve Graff. What does fishing do for your soul?
For me personally, it's. I remember when I got through playing minor league ball, my doctor told me, I had a doctor's appointment, he said, you got to find something you enjoy doing, okay, that's not competitive. Well, Randy Fair screwed that up with the first invite for Lake Bistineau tournament in 1990. That screwed me up for good. But for me, it's just getting away and getting outdoors. When you guide people, Mike's done some guiding. I've done a little bit of guiding, not near like he has, but it's a release for people just to get outside in the outdoors, away from the cell phones, away from your desk, just to kind of get away from everything and leave all your worries behind and just chunk. I've had guys tell me, I don't care if I catch a fish today. I just want to be outside riding this boat, let the wind go between my ears, and let's have fun.
Need something between those ears.
What about you?
I had a trip yesterday to Heartland 1010. Scott Dixon took a friend of his who I had met once, Bill Andrews, who owns Andrews Floor Covering right off 549 into St. Vincent. Big floor covering company. Uh-huh. Bill is a super nice guy, works about 8 days a week. And Scott took him fishing. I don't believe, we caught probably 50 yesterday afternoon. I don't believe I've ever seen anybody relax and enjoy catching pound, 2-3 pound fish as much as Bill did yesterday.
Wow.
Every fish, he said, this is beautiful. It feels so good to be away from the phone and work and customers today. Uh-huh. I've never seen anybody that appreciated the day, which was like a 20-mile-an-hour northwest wind all day yesterday. Yeah. Wind howling until dark
after
almost.
a front.
Still have never seen anybody that just like every fish to him was a gift.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it got him away from the turmoil and the stress of running a business as big as he is.
Wow. It reinforces my Christian beliefs.
Oh, really?
Honestly, you get out there before daylight.
Faith that you can still catch fish?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. No, you get out there before daylight and you watch that sun come up out of the lake.
There ain't nothing like that.
And to be able to look at somebody else that might have any kind of disbelief that there is a God and that Jesus Christ died for us, to be able to look at that, it's like, dude, where's your argument? Yeah. How in the world can you top that?
Yeah. I almost think Easter morning everybody will go fishing at sunrise.
Yeah, Julie McCoy, I'm going to tell you, if we're not at Easter sunrise services at Hillcrest Sunday morning, I'm telling you, the world has hair lipped over.
Just take your rod and hold it in your hand,
Hey, I will say, though, that's the coolest thing in the world. At those sunrise services at Hillcrest, you get to see the wood ducks flying over red shoes.
Coming off roost.
I mean, you'll see squirrels. You see a little bit of this. It's just unreal. And that's one of the things that's near and dear to me is to be able to do that. And back in the day, when I used to compete, I loved right before the tournament, the fellowship, right before the tournament, as everybody's sitting around in the boats, and you smell that smoke of outboard oil and stuff like that. And then back at the weigh-in, especially when you had a sack of fish and everybody was looking at you, it's like, whoa, did you see what they got?
Right.
And there's something about that, the fellowship.
Yeah. And being the competitive guy that I am, I mean, to me, it's all about competing, and I still want to win, and I still have the competitive fire. But as I'm finding the older I get, it's more just going out and just trying to figure them out.
Oh, yeah.
Just go figure them out. What are they doing? Where can you catch them? Because, you won't tournament fish forever. And, what I find myself not doing now, it's just going fun fishing. If I don't have a tournament,
what are you doing at 1 o'clock? You got a boat?
I got a boat.
Well, let's go.
But it ain't here.
Hey, stay close now. Texas High School State TBF champions Will Brady and Joe BeeBee. They are next, hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
They were asking if you were around.
The 2014 Natchitoches Fishing Expo, May 3rd, 8:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. at Priefert Coliseum on the beautiful NSU campus, right across from Chaplin's Lake. It's even bigger, even better than last year. Here's hoping to see you there.
The Natchitoches Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Victor Jones encourage all citizens to remember to be safe, buckle up, and remember, no texting.
Legendary quality at Ranger It's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Sandtone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
This segment presented by Toledo Bend Lake Country, Commercial Power Equipment, Ranger Boats, and Bob Seeley Outdoors, home of the $1 million Big Bass Splash. Once again, back to you, Gary.
Tickled to death this afternoon, or this morning rather, to have the Texas High School State TBF champions, Will Brady and Joe BeeBee on the phone with us. Boys, are you there? Hello.
Hello.
There we go. There we go. Now, who is this? Have we got both of you or just one of you?
We got both of us, sir. I'm here.
Fantastic. Hey, they were able to pull that off.
Yeah.
Okay, so where did you guys, was this a cumulative points competition over the course of the year, or did you just win the state championship tournament?
We just won the state championship tournament, sir.
Gotcha.
This was an open tournament.
It was an open tournament?
Open tournament.
Okay, where did y'all compete? Where was this?
On Lake LBJ in Marble Falls, Texas.
Gotcha. So where are you at right now?
We're in Conroe, Texas right now, just north of Houston.
Okay, cool. How's the fishing nowadays on Conroe? Because it about died here about 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's still, like, good. It's just you got to know the lake to actually, like, have really good bags on there.
Yeah. That was one of the first victims that I can remember of the carp coming in.
But it was a victim of the abuse of grass carp.
Sure.
Yeah. So they weren't used properly.
Right.
So.
Okay, boys, give us a little insight now. I mean, when you show up for this open tournament, how many other entries are there?
There's 88 different entries.
And did you guys have a good feeling as tournament morning approached?
Yeah, because we pre-fished for 2 days, and we had a pretty good pre-fishing. We caught a lot of fish. We put the pattern together and everything. So we felt pretty confident going into the tournament morning.
Hey, guys, you don't have a radio on beside you, do you?
No, sir.
Okay, because we're getting some feedback.
Yeah. Y'all still there?
Yes, sir, we are.
Okay. So it's tournament morning. You're ready to go out. You've got you've got everything primed and ready, and you catch first fish at what time?
In the first hour.
Okay. You're a man of few words, are you not?
hey, and guys, you set a new national record. What was the total weight that the largest catch ever recorded in TBF High School Bass Fishing Tournament? What was the record catch y'all had that day?
32 even.
5 fish?
Wow.
5 fish?
Yes, sir.
Smoked them, baby.
Yeah, they had a pretty good day. And what was your number one bait for that? For those 5 fish? All on the same bait or hodgepodge?
We switched around. I mean, we could sight fish a bit, but I caught an 8-pounder and a 9-pounder, and they're on the Strike King shimmy stick with a all black bait with a blue tip tail.
Okay, they're on speakerphone evidently. Yeah, that's what the deal is. They're on speakerphone, so maybe that's why we're getting the feedback we're getting.
Okay.
But can one of them can pick up if we want.
Hey, would that be possible?
Yes, sir. We can do that.
Okay.
All right. Is this any better?
Whoa, look at here. Hey, it's a brand new day in the neighborhood.
I'm telling you. Man, night and day. All right, who do we have on the phone now?
This is Will Brady.
Okay, well, so you caught an 8 and a 9 on the shimmy.
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, it's all black. So, I mean, is that what you found him on in pre-fishing, or did you discover him something else and think, I will start off the morning with this?
Well, first day of pre-fishing, we fished some docks and stuff, and I had the shimmy stick in a baby bass color, and we fished that around the all day on second day too. But we went to some other spots on the lake, and it was a bit more dirty. So I decided to get to the black, and then it was overcast the morning of the tournament, and I decided to do a black bait, just darker.
Now, Will, are you a junior, senior? What are you in, Joe, classification-wise in terms of school?
Joe and I are both freshmen.
Both freshmen?
Boys here.
So you got 3 more years to go out there and smoke some people.
But you know what? That's almost like shooting a 47-point buck, your first one out.
Yeah, that's true.
You start your freshman year and you set the all-time record. I mean, what are you going to do to follow that up?
Yeah.
Probably.
That's what you're going to do, I promise. Yeah.
I can tell you what, the guys, you caught 32 pounds. That's great. The next one you win, if you win it with 12, you still win.
Amen.
Yeah, and you'll be just as proud, too.
Yes, sir.
Boys, I'm going to tell y'all something. You know what you call a man who goes all the way through medical school making C's? You know what you call him?
What?
Doctor.
Yeah, he's still a doctor.
He's still a doctor.
That's
so
exactly
if you win it with 32 pounds or 12 pounds, victory is victory.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how many your school? How many teams does your school have?
How many teams?
Yes, how many teams, fishing teams, do you have at your high school?
5.
5. Okay. How are y'all received down there in school on campus as being a sport? Because this is new. This is new to consider fishing as a team and a school-sanctioned event. How do the people in your school?
What Mike's really asking, do y'all get the girls like the quarterback does?
Is your picture going to be in the yearbook as being the state champions?
Yeah.
Well, we just started this year, and we're the founding members of the College Park bass fishing team. And honestly, really, no one really knows about it. I mean, we're not getting in the school newspaper or anything like that, but it's more like...
Why not?
I mean, no one really knows about it. Our principal just found out about 3 weeks ago.
Wow. What size school is this? 3A, 4A, 5A? What size school?
This is a 5A school.
5A school, okay. That's a big school, especially in the Houston area. I can't understand why you're not getting any PR within your own school. That's almost crazy.
I mean, we have a basketball team that just won 12-0, and I mean, fish isn't that big of a thing for the school.
Hey, I want you to explain something to that basketball team. Okay, I want you to take to them. I want you to walk to each member of that basketball team and congratulate them on a great season, but remind them that you two, out of that whole school, were the only 2 that were on this radio program, nationally recognized radio program, okay? Make sure that they understand how cool it was that they went through this great season, 12-0, and that's a big deal, but it was you 2 that were on this radio and television program, not the basketball team.
Oh, I will.
There you go. Rub it in.
Those basketball players may be taller than you, so be careful.
Yeah. Rub it in there. Rub it in there, Will. Hey, Will, Joe, great job. We appreciate you. And congratulations on not only a great win, but setting a national record. Hopefully that record will stand for a while. Or if it's broken, y'all will break it yourselves. And we just want to wish you the best of luck.
I got one last question. Obviously, this was probably the best 5-fish string, 2 14, 15-year-old boys could have put together. Was the 8 or the 9, either one of those, the biggest fish? Well, obviously it'd be the 9. Was that the biggest fish you'd ever caught?
It was my personal best, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Which one did you catch first, the 9 or the 8?
I caught the 9 first, and seriously, about 5 minutes later, I hooked up on the 8.
That's a pretty good start.
And you're kind of disappointed at that point. Oh, he's not bigger than the other one. Dang.
Oh, man, dadgummit.
I hate that.
I hate fishing.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, stay close now. Here in a minute, Cajun Phil And the South Louisiana report, we got to find out if the Reds and the, what do you call those other fish? Speckled trout. Yeah, if they're biting. That's next, hooking up and tracking down. 11:30, the Tiger.
Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, midwaymarinastmaurice.com or call 318-646-0097. Natchitoches, Louisiana is known for its rich history, and when you talk car buying, Natchitoches Ford has the distinction of selling the very first Ford automobiles in Louisiana. That means they have been satisfying customers for a long time. Friendly people who will make sure you have a great car buying experience. Their no high pressure and hassle-free sales staff will do their best to offer you the best service possible when buying that new car or truck. Family owned and operated, Calvin Braxton Sr. and Jr. want to invite you to stop by and see the guys who started it all in Louisiana car buying at Natchitoches Ford Lincoln, just off the Highway 1 bypass in Natchitoches, or call them at 318-352-3677.
The 2014 Natchitoches Fishing Expo, May 3rd, 8:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. at Prather Coliseum on the beautiful NSU campus, right across from Chaplin's Lake. It's even bigger, even better than last year. Here's hoping to see you there.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? It's like wearing your high school letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
Now back to the guys who are the so-called experts of the outdoors, Steve, Gary, and Mike.
Hey, thank you for spending some time with us right here on 1130 The Tiger. Gary McCoy, Steve Graff, and Mike Eccles. Next week on the show, you want to make sure that you check out Elite Series Pro Mike McClellan, fresh off his win at Table Rock, the leading angler of the year, Mark Davis. Yeah. Also good. How many tournaments have they had?
That was the third one. They've completed 3.
Okay, so where all have they been? Do you know?
Table Rock.
Obviously, that's going to be a strong point for Mark.
Yeah, well, Table Rock is where Mike McClellan just won it.
Okay, yeah, but what I'm saying is Mark's no slouch there.
Oh, no. He would be very good there. Table Rock. Where else, Mike?
Two other lakes. Table Rock and 2 other lakes.
Yeah, I think
Mark's winning.
Another one's in Alabama. Besides Gunnersville, there was another one there in Alabama. I can't remember what lake it was.
You look at me all you want to. I'm going to be no help.
I keep thinking it's just going to come out of you.
I'll make up something, but
it'd be wrong.
Hey, later this show, the Prieferts. That's their brand new name, formerly Priefert Backwoods Bloodline. We have no idea which one of the 3 brothers is going to be on with us, but one of the 3 will discuss probably the name change, what's coming up, new season, all that good stuff. Lake Fork guy Johnny Geis going to be on here about 12:15 this afternoon, giving us a fishing report and a tip of the week for us.
And he's smoking them over there.
Oh, big fish, big fish.
And which we knew it was fixing to turn on. But guys, did we skip summer? All of a sudden, I woke up this morning, it's 32 degrees, and I'm like, what happened to?
We were near record yesterday and this morning.
Yeah,
that's what I told you. Never-ending winter.
Yeah.
I'm like, man.
Well, that's what Paul Davis told us why he wasn't, he was not trying to rush spring planting.
Don't rush planting anything that the seeds have to germinate. You can put out tomato plants, you can put out potatoes. Stuff's already got a stem on it when you dig a hole.
Yeah.
But if it has to germinate, wait.
See, I got really nervous about fruit trees. Because, man, my pear trees, everything had already started. I was, and William Hale called me this morning and told me that yesterday morning, on top of a 55-gallon drum at his place in Halston, there was a 1/4 inch of ice.
Wow.
On top of that. So if you had fruit trees in the Austin area, yee.
Speaking of fruit, we got Cajun Phil on.
You heard that, didn't you, brother?
Yeah. I'm going to germinate too, and it's too cold to germinate.
No, we didn't say you were too old to germinate, Phil.
Kevin called the name this morning and said, hey, I have to cancel my trip. You want to go? I said, you're crazy. I said, I don't even want to go get my newspaper.
Well, Phil, tell us what's going on down there.
I'm sitting out back drinking a beer saying, this ain't right. I need hot coffee or something.
Yeah. Tell us what's going on down there in South Louisiana. Are the specs running? Are the redfish? What's going on?
We're running about 3 weeks late right now, just because of the same thing you've been talking about. These fronts keep coming through, keep coming through, keep coming through. We're gonna be about 3 weeks late on everything, it looks like. We're catching a lot of redfish, but the speckled trout are really, they're stars. You know, you have 1 or 2 good days and then 3 bad days. So I would not book a speckled trout trip right now, but anybody want to catch reds, oh my God, they're everywhere.
You just running past your phone every now and then, hollering at it when you go by.
We're not getting a good signal from you, Phil.
It's crazy. Like I said, the reds are pretty thick and they're pretty easy to catch. But speckled trout, they're a little hard.
Yeah.
What seems to be the winning technique right down there right now? To catch those specks.
If a person don't mind fishing with live bait, you need to go ahead and buy a quart. Hey, for $15 a quart, get your quart per person and get out there and put them under a popping cork, and you'll do good. Now we went about 4 days ago, and we didn't have any shrimp, and we still caught like, I don't know, maybe 30, 35 reds. We had a good trip, you know, but with the shrimp under popping cork, it's a no-brainer usually.
Phil, what's the wind been down there like?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. What it is it was blowing, I guess, for 4 days, due out of the south. I mean, about as hard as you could stand. You know, in the 20s, high 20s. And then we get this front come through and switch around and blew just off. It blew out of the north. So it's like, man, they're keeping the water messed up.
So the water's staying all stained up on you and makes it hard to catch. What about your redfish tour down there? Are you and Kevin fishing that again this year?
I don't know, I guess it was a week before last, we had one down at Chalmette. Kevin had the singles tournament. He's already open, and he placed 6th in that. And then the following weekend, we had our tournament. And the first third day, we had one that was about an eighth too long. So once you do that, you're out. You're pretty much out of the pocket. You know, we just fished. After that, we just fished for points.
Yeah.
But, we're fishing that again, and matter of fact, our next one's coming up in about a month, and we're going to be at Fourchon, Louisiana.
Phil, now, if a fellow was sitting here right now and he was hearing his good buddy Cajun Phil on the radio talking about red fishing and the speck fishing, and he was thinking, you know what, I'd really like to book a trip. I can't get one right now. What would be the next best time to go? I mean, and obviously we'd expect you to say next week or tomorrow, but I mean, in all actuality, what would be the next best really good window to get that trip so that, let's say that, he's got a youngster that he's wanting to bring along and have a really, really good fishing trip. What would be that time?
August or September.
August or September?
June, July, August, or September.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It'll be great.
Okay.
June's going to be good. June, July, August, September. Any of those 4 months is really our favorite months. Most people don't come because it's too hot, but we just slam them. We slam them. I mean, it'll be all gone.
Now, fish, the redfish, and is there going to be a late spawn down there with you guys on your end as well, since the water's still cool?
I think so. I definitely think so. Like I said, right now we got plenty of redfish, but they're on the small size, but they grow so darn fast. I'd say about another month we'll have big redfish. But I say big, 8 to 12 pounds. Right now we're running with a whole lot of. You got to measure them just to make sure you can keep them. But in Louisiana, they're 16 inches, so that ain't bad. And we were catching most of our redfish that were in the 16 to say 25-inch range. But Kevin went down to the jetties because he had people wore the big ones, and they hammered all the big ones. They was catching everything oversized. That's all they went for. But they went and had a blast catching the big one. You can catch them right now if you want to go to the jetties.
Cajun Phil on the phone now. Listen, how does somebody go ahead and book a trip with you or Kevin, Phil?
They just call or email. If you just go to my email, is Cajun Phil, CHAUNPHIL at hotmail.com, and just let me know when they want to come. We'll check and see what's available. We got 6 guys working out of Cajun Paradise Lodge and Charters. They can go on our website, which is Cajun Paradise Lodge and Charters. Look at the website, look at the pictures, or they can just call me, just like you did, 337-540-5530.
I think even on our Facebook.
Yeah, when you called just a minute ago, I was on the phone booking a trip from a guy that wants to bring his grandson down here, so they booked up for next month.
Hey, can't beat that then. That's a good deal.
Hey, Phil, I got a question for you. A lot of people come down there and fish with you, and they bring a lot of fish back home, and everybody knows now how to fish, how to fry their speckled trout, and they know how to cook the redfish on the half shell. Everybody gets excited when they bring back 3 or 4 flounders. Real quick, real easy, what's the best way to cook flounder when we bring them back up here up north?
Well, what we do basically, we catch a so-bad flounder. When the flounder run comes, our guys are catching 40 almost every morning because there's 3 people plus the guide, and our limits are 10. So when you got 40 flounder and 20 rest, they basically just steal out. Well, a lot of people used to just say stuff in a flounder. Well, you do the same thing. You got 2 delays. You lay one side down, you put your crab in, or your crawfish ain't too fat in the middle, and you put your other piece on top, and then you stick it in the oven. I mean, you basically got stuff flounder, but you got 2 halves with just your stuff in the middle, and that's the best way to go.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I thought he said.
Boy, that accent kicked in.
Amen. Cajun Phil, thank you, brother. We appreciate you again.
Hey, all you got to do is call.
Amen. We will make that phone ring again.
All right, well, come on down and get yourself.
All right.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye.
Shoot him an email, CajunPhil@hotmail.com, or you can call him at 337-540-5530.
I'm not
been a long time since I talked to somebody, with the solo cups and the string between them, like we just did.
I want to apologize, too, to all of our listeners for that. For the audio, it's not on our end. It's definitely on the caller's end there. We don't know if he's out in the swamp somewhere.
I really think we got a hold of Charlie Brown's teacher by mistake.
And then you eat the stuff in the middle.
Hopefully next time we get him on, we'll have a little better connection. So.
Stay close. Here in just a minute, the Prieferts. It's hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
Welcome back to this week's Hooking Up and Tracking Down Tip of the Week. I'm Ranger Boat Pro Staffer Steve Graff. With Hooking Up and Tracking Down, we've got several great product sponsors. One of them, Vicious Fishing Line, one of the best fishing lines on the market today. They make all different kinds of lines. They make monofilament, they make a braid, make a great fluorocarbon, but they also have a 4th one that a lot of people don't realize, copolymer. Copolymer is a fishing line that's between monofilament and fluorocarbon. It's got a little bit of stretch to it, but not quite the stretch that monofilament has. So if you're looking for a great all-around fishing line, this is an outstanding line for spinner baits. I use it a lot with my spinner baits. Just a good all-around line for any type of the crankbaits, spinner baits, whatever you want to use it for. This is a good all-around line. It's called the Ultimate by Vicious. Check it out at Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, Cypress Knee Outdoors, or Toledo Town and Tackle.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out more.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities, such as trap, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Thousand Island Road, just before the Grand Ecour Bridge. You're watching KNTS Digital 19 in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter, and your heating and air conditioning system is burning holes in your paycheck? You need to call Luke at Guy Heating and Air.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
Hello, I'm Troy Umbehagen. We at Natchitoches Nursing and Rehabilitation proudly support and watch TV17's local programming.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities, such as traps, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Thousand Island Road, just before the Grand Ecour Bridge.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Sandtone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT. Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452.
The 2014 Natchitoches Fishing Expo, May 3rd, 8:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. at Priefert Coliseum on the beautiful NSU campus, right across from Chaplin's Lake. It's even bigger, even better than last year. Here's hoping to see you there.
Woods Bloodline, Spro Lures, BioBore Fuel Treatment, and Daiwa Rods and Reels. Again, back to the three amigos who are true legends, in their own mind, that is. Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles.
Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hey, the Prieferts, the brand new name, formerly Priefert Backwoods Bloodline. Eddie Priefert on the phone. Eddie, we got something that we're going to try to do around here. Have you ever tased anybody?
Are you talking to me?
Well, of course we're talking to you.
No, the other Eddie Priefert.
Yeah.
Well, you cut out there for a second, so I wasn't sure. I'm sorry.
Have you ever tased anybody?
No, not yet, but I hope to.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. We're going to get to live a lifelong dream. Well, I think we're going to tease our boy Cupcake up here today.
Hey, that sounds great. What time? I can be there pretty quick.
We're going to get it on video. We'll send you a copy.
You know, I think we ought to lean into this. If Cupcake's willing to do it,
yeah.
I think we ought to. We won't be here next week. We're going to be down on Sam Rayburn.
Right.
I think we ought to do this and warn people where they can go to the computer and watch it.
Oh, shoot, yeah. You know what? We might be onto something. You know, the way this started, Eddie, is that I wanted to know what caliber of a pistol I should buy my wife when she passes the concealed handgun training. And I was, should I get her the 9? Should I get her a 380? Should I just go the old school and get maybe a little 25? Something along those lines. And Mike suggested just getting her a taser. And I said, we've already got one. And I thought about, at one point, allowing myself to be tased just because I wanted to see what it was like. Well, we got a young man up here in his prime, good-looking young fella. What are you, 23, 22, somewhere along in there?
Guess where he's from, though, Eddie?
Where's that?
California.
Yeah.
So there's you.
No way. He's in a completely foreign land, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. And so we're thinking, if since he's volunteering, I didn't volunteer. We're gonna we've helped him volunteer.
When he saw the art come out of this thing, he changed his mind.
What I'm thinking, they could do this on the show. They could do this on.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Listen to this. This is the taser. Listen.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the last things you hear before you go change underwear.
Now, would you tase one of your brothers?
Oh yeah. That'd make good TV.
Okay, now we got a brand new name. Instead of Priefert Backwoods Bloodline, we are now the Prieferts. And when's the new season gonna make its debut?
It's going to be in mid-June. Don't have the exact dates in mind right now. I can't remember exactly, but it's mid-June, and it'll be 9:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central Time for all of us, 9 o'clock Eastern. I think they've got a schedule right between Sarah Palin's TV show and Arlie Ermey's.
Way to go!
There you go.
Hey, get up close as you can to Sarah Palin. You ever met her?
I'd like to be between Sarah Palin and something.
Yeah. I actually met her in Vegas. I was at the National Finals Rodeo, and we were out there, and I actually got to meet her in Vegas.
Was she as cool as we envision her?
Oh, you know what? She was great. She's better looking in person, and she has a great personality.
She's hotter than fish grease, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I guarantee you. Yeah, she met my dad too, and I think he picked her up and hugged her.
It's not often that you can say you've had a vice presidential candidate, you've hugged on.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
My poor mom, she was sitting there, and somebody said, "Yeah, she ran for vice. This Sarah Palin, she ran for vice president." She goes, "Vice president of what?" She had no idea. I don't know what she was thinking, but.
So what do you guys? Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No, finish your story.
No, I was done.
Oh, okay. So what are you guys doing right now? What kind of plans have you got for the fall? I mean, obviously with the weather.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good lineup. All three of us. We all three don't get out together very much because somebody's got to be back at the plant running it. But we're going to leave Dad to it for a couple of days, and all three of us are going to go to. We're headed to New Zealand for Red Stag.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait a second. You made a mistake. You meant all four of us?
No,
Mike out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you just load up.
Yeah.
They'll meet you there, Mike.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that duck hunt y'all were gonna take me on.
They'll meet you there, Mike.
Hey, we can always go duck hunting. It's just finding them.
Yeah. Well, Eddie, one thing I just run by your promotional guy, your new marketing director there, Jay Thompson, who's taken over, and we talked yesterday about you guys meeting us at Heartland 1010 right outside of Marshall over here. It's a high fence place, great fishing. I'll treat you guys to burgers and sausage, and we'll do a little fishing and get to know each other a little bit better. And I just want to put that bug in your ear and something y'all can think about. We're thinking about maybe September, October, maybe.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. We might have to work that in. That'd be good stuff.
Oh yeah, it'd be a great time.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, so now you guys, like I was talking about a minute ago, with the weather and stuff, have you kind of stalled, efforts for any of your planning and any of that stuff that you would normally put out there for the spring?
You talking about for planning for food plots?
Yeah, food plots, whitetail, yeah.
I may have jumped the gun a little bit, but 2 weeks ago I put in a combination of a total of 15 acres, but mixed in 15 acres. I got several food plots. I put in soybean, lab, and clay peas,
and buckwheat. And, we've gotten down at night about 36 degrees, a light frost, but hopefully not a killing frost. I might have to redo it all. But I did that about a week and a half ago.
Would you say that?
Yep.
Would you say that's one of the best things you can do is mix it up like you did?
Yes, because you just never know what your deer are going to necessarily like. And like I put in buckwheat, just reading. I'm no expert at all, but just reading on the internet and learning from other people. I put buckwheat in with it because that buckwheat comes up nice and tender pretty quick, and it also it's done in about 90 days. Well, I put that buckwheat in there, so maybe they'll eat more of that buckwheat than my peas as they're coming up. And once the peas get up and mature, then they'll go at the peas. So I'm trying to give my peas and my other stuff time to get up to where they can't get ahead of it.
How are you keeping the hogs out of your food plots when you plant them?
Well, we make a panel now for hogs in general. It's a 12-foot panel, 2x4, that pins together. One man can handle it. It's a pretty inexpensive panel, but it's 2x4 wire, 36 inches tall. A deer can jump over it, but a hog can't get in and move it. So I've got panels put up around my food plots, keeping hogs out.
Man, that's the best plan you can have. We had to do that as well, trying to plant sunflowers. But we had to go with a taller panel because we wanted to keep the deer. They were eating all the sunflowers, and we didn't have any sunflowers for bird hunting in the fall.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, you got to put a fence up and protect that stuff for sure, especially for hogs.
So, what's your expectation for this year? I mean, you guys obviously you had a lot of footage from before. You guys making a lot of plans to really set the fall on fire.
We are. We've got the New Zealand hunt. All three of us are going on it. Then two of us are going to. We're going to go to British Columbia whitetail hunt. I have an opportunity up there. I've got a guy that wants equipment. And I'm trading some rope and shoots and squeeze shoots and some panels for a hunt.
Wow.
That works out pretty good for me.
Amen.
Yeah.
Now, wait a second. Are you putting those on a plane, or are you driving to British Columbia?
I am not driving to British Columbia.
Smart guy.
I'll figure out how to ship that stuff up there to it.
Well, Mike said he would drive it as long as he could go on the hunt.
No, Mike ain't driving to British Columbia.
You're not going to make that even for a hunt?
No.
Really?
No. Send me pictures. I'm not driving to British Columbia.
Okay, now, with the three of you boys off, not only are you together, which never really gets to happen, but you're out of the country. Is there going to be any practical joking that maybe, we might be able to see on TV?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
The three of y'all, the three of you boys together never happens, and now you're out of the country together in New Zealand stag hunting. Is there going to be any practical jokes we might get to see on TV? Because I know there's going to be some clowning.
How many times will the windows be rolled down?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, there ain't no telling what'll happen. I'm trying to get my plans together so I can beat them to the punch. I guarantee you.
You better. I'm telling you, because I promise you, they're thinking about it.
Oh, they've already got it figured out. They're a little bit. They're sharper than I am. They're already thinking they're through.
Yeah, when me and my brother went out of the country together, we just had to make sure we had enough $1 bills with us.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, give us again. It's the Prieferts, and give us the same bat time, same bat channel info.
Okay, we got it'll be on 9 Sportsman Channel, DirecTV or Dish, or if your cable provider offers it, Sportsman Channel at 9:30 Thursday nights between Sarah Palin and Arlie Ermey.
And the debut is going to be when?
It'll be mid-June, about June. I think it's June. I want to say June the 10th, but I can't remember exactly. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Yeah, Eddie, I'm gonna cut a promo for this, and we'll start promoting. And the closer we get to that date, Jay said he would contact me and let me know the exact night, and we'll redo the promo.
Hey, that sounds great. I hope everybody watches it.
Well, we're excited for you, brother, from Mount Pleasant. I mean, it's a little piece of home right there on national TV. That always, it gives you a sense of pride around here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, sure do. And as a matter of fact, I'm fixing to walk in the Hot Links house and eat some Hot Links.
Oh, man, you're killing me now. Oh, dude. That and a bowl of chili, you can't beat that.
Oh, dude.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
Eddie Priefert and the boys, make sure you tune in and check them out mid-June when the new show shows up. It's the Prieferts. Appreciate you again, brother, and we're tickled to death that we'll be looking forward to getting the information as to what happens after this New Zealand stag hunt, because I know there's going to be something that goes down.
Hey, Eddie, make sure you don't get your cholesterol checked after you go eat these hot links. So.
Oh, I guarantee I won't be able to go to the doctor for a while. I'll be looking for a bathroom pretty quick.
That's what. Isn't that what Tim McGraw said was a heart attack in a sack?
Yeah, you get that right.
Thank you, brother.
That's right. Thank you.
Eddie Priefert, the Prieferts, formerly Priefert Backwoods Bloodline. These guys are just, three brothers all together in New Zealand.
Dude.
Nobody else telling them they can't do this.
Yeah.
I
don't know if I'd want to be in that vehicle or not.
They're driving to New Zealand, too?
Yeah, they're going to make that trip, too.
In a paddle boat. Yeah. All right, stay close now. Here in just a minute, Lake Fork guide Johnny Geis, our fishing report from Lake Fork and the tip of the week. It's hooking up and tracking down. 11:30, the Tiger.
Some things just stay the same, but not Toledo Town and Tackle. Still the best selection of tackle on the bin. Zoom dive with Jean LaRue and Santone. Now double the size of the original store, you have twice as much to choose from. With a new deli serving the best hamburgers, pizza, and soft drinks, you'll find something that's sure to fill your belly. They also have a great selection of tees and polo-style shirts. So stop in and treat yourself to the best tackle box on the bin. Toledo Town and Tackle on beautiful Toledo Bend Lake. Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, midwaymarinastmaurice.com or call 318-646-0097.
Hello everybody, Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff with the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show. Folks, there's nothing I love more than my Rhino. I've had three-wheelers, I've had four-wheelers, but if you want the best of the best, you need to get you a Rhino 700 from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches. My Rhino does more than take me to and from the deer stand. It is a great utility vehicle around your house. You can use it for all kinds of stuff, including yard work. I've got it loaded down right here. But one of the best features of the Rhino, it's got a dump bed right in the back of it. So go see the guys at Honda Yamaha Village of Natchez, Chip, Layton, and the gang over there, and let them show you the new Yamaha 700 series from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchez.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's, and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
This segment presented by Cypress Knee Outdoors, Mr. Twister, Lake Fork Marina, and Lake Fork guide Johnny Geis. The only guide you'll need at Lake Fork. Take it away, Gary.
Speaking of Johnny Geis, I wonder where Johnny Geis is right now. You know, I wonder if he's like in Lake Fork Marina having one of them great big old cheeseburgers and onion rings.
That new Ranger boat.
Yeah, we got to figure out, if you will, don't tell us exactly where you are. Just kind of tell us just talk for a second so we can figure it out.
Well, I'm right in between half of a cheeseburger and half the onion rings. You got it just right. So we're having lunch.
Do you get a chocolate shake, or are you drinking a soda pop?
No, I'm probably going to drink some hot chocolate over here is what I need today.
Now, Johnny, have you ever had any of those good Texas hot links, like Pittsburgh hot links? I
have.
Are those good or what?
They are great, man. I'll have to get some of those soon.
Gary says, it's a heart attack waiting to happen.
The toughest part of working out of Lake Fork Marina is leaving Lake Fork Marina.
Oh, it's a nice place.
That's the roughest spot. You know, actually making the boat pull away from there.
Yeah, leaving there.
In depression. It's a nice office to leave there every morning and see the sun come up right outside out of the marina.
Amen. Okay, with the cold weather, the cold front that's hit us the last couple of days, has that shut things down?
Not at all. I mean, I thought it probably would. I fished Wednesday when it blew in, hard northwest wind, and best bite of the year. I mean, they just eat good that morning. And then the next morning, we got the clear bluebird yesterday, and all of a sudden the ice was on the windshield, and I took a half day off. Well, I was off all day and decided, heck with that. What do guys do when they have a day off? We went fishing.
Amen.
So I got on the water about 1 o'clock yesterday, and, man, we had 10 of just super nice fish from 5 to 7.5 pounds. So.
Now, John, are these pre-spawned fish or are these fish that have already spawned out?
They're in all stages right now, and every cove you'll have some that's still sitting on the bed. I saw a lot of empty beds this morning because it's kind of cold, but they'll be back here this afternoon, I'm sure.
What about the wind?
Wind's pretty bad. I mean, that's the beauty of getting you a guide, because you got to find the right spot that you can get out and got some spawning fish. And maybe there's not as many boats in. Now, that's what's hard over here because we have quite a bit of boat pressure. But they're biting good, guys. I tell you, this is going to be a fabulous week next week. And hopefully this is the last one of these things. And I've said that every week since February.
Johnny Geis, Lake Fork Guide. That you just mentioned something that people sometimes won't realize. You know, they all they consider is the expense of getting a guide. Oh, I can go fishing myself. When you get a guide, you rule out the price of gas. That's on him.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, Johnny, you've even told us, that some of your people, some want to bring their tackle, but most of the time you handle that. You don't have to pay. You pay for that guide's knowledge of knowing where the fish are. The guide can't guarantee success, but boy, I'm going to tell you right now, if I was a gambling man, that is probably one of the best investments that you're going to make. Ask Mike Eccles. Mike, I got ready to take my oldest son on a senior trip. Mm-hmm. I wanted to make sure that my boy, here he is about to wander off into grown man's land. What did I do I consider myself an above average fisherman, but what did I do to make sure that he was going to be successful?
Well, you first off, you took him to a great place, Heartland 1010.
Yeah.
And we went over there, the three of us, and we had a good day.
Exactly.
We caught more fish than we would have probably caught on Cross Lake or Caddo in 3 or 4 trips.
Right. Now, the thing that I'm saying, though, is I went with a guide. I wanted to put my bet on somebody that I felt like was going to assure the success. And, here we are at Lake Fork. We're talking about Lake Fork, one of the biggest big fish fisheries in the United States. A guy like Johnny Geis, who has been there since it was a mud puddle.
Yeah,
it was a mud puddle when he first got there.
Exactly.
There's nobody that knows it better. Why in the world would you want to take a gamble? You might get to go twice a year.
And you got to run a trolling motor either.
Exactly. Oh,
Thank
yeah.
the Lord,
man.
And there's quite a few stumps out here. A lot of people come with pretty good equipment, and they try to run the boat roads and everything looks clear. Well, there's a lot of stuff under the water. But last week was a great week. I had five days of straight trips, and 13 different people caught their largest fish ever.
Wow.
Wow, that's cool.
That's job satisfaction right there.
Amen. Now, when you see a pattern starting to arise in that, and maybe your guide party has been out, how often do they want to give up on the 5 and 6 pound fish to go in search of a really big fish?
Not doesn't seem to be the clientele that I'm drawing right now. I'm trying to get people that don't get out a lot, the moms and the pops, the grandpas and the grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of these people with 5 pounds, the biggest fish they caught. If I get a real hardcore bass fisherman, he'll tell me right up front, hey, I want to throw large swim baits all day long. That's fine. We can do it with the best of them. But most people come here to catch fish, and once they started, I'm fishing the live bait right now and have for about 2 months now. But I can't wait to see the first fish blow up and pull out the Czar spook, and that's going to happen this next week.
So if somebody wanted to catch a double-digit fish, that was what they're going to target on Lake Fork. Johnny, what would you do with them? I mean, would you resort to your live brim technique?
That'll happen in about a month, and if I get about a 3 or 4 day trip in a row, I think we can get a 10-pounder. It won't happen every day, though. You have to catch a lot of fish. The guys in this last tournament caught a 10 1/4, and it wasn't a legal fish. It wasn't 24 inches.
Oh, so. 10 1/4
wasn't legal.
10 1/4, and they tried to weigh it in, and it like the 30-seconds of an inch to win a truck and a boat. So
wow,
good gosh.
But to answer your question is, you just got to go through a lot of fish, because they'll catch them in a foot of water, and we'll catch them in 30 foot. You don't know where it is. It's more of a luck factor than it is a skill factor, really.
But do they throw the big swim baits over there? Is that what they're going to target when they're targeting the really big fish? Is that what they're doing?
Probably a big jig or a big worm, if you really want to target that and get on some long points, timber points, windy points, and that's it. The Alabama rig had really got a good workout here about 3 weeks ago. A couple guys from Missouri came in, and we were kind of struggling with the pattern, and they didn't know any better, so they picked up the Alabama rig on windy points and caught 200 fish in 5 days. So,
good gosh,
that's roughing it.
It is, and the Alabama rig's deadly on any lake you go to. You just got to wear your arm out. It's hard to do, and it's not a customer-friendly bait for a guide. When you get 3 or 4 people in the boat with 5 hooks, you got 20 hooks coming by your ear.
Yeah,
you know?
You got to have rotator cuff surgery after you throw that thing all day.
Well, Johnny, is part of the experience going out and catching the brim too, or do you already have those when I show up?
Well, right now I'm using a bait called a black salty, and we're just buying those at the store. They're just basically a genetically engineered goldfish to be black and bronze. It's not gold, and it's an effective little bait fish, about 3 or 4 inches. Putting it under a cork about 3 foot down, freeline it under a cork, and the little salty will swim around. He might hit him on top of the water or down under the cork, but I couldn't sleep last night because I kept seeing these corks go under in the middle of the night. So it just
now
I love that.
Yeah, that's not the same as the water dogs, is it?
No, the water dogs is obviously that big lizard-looking fish, and
right.
They're $5 a piece this year. You can't hardly afford to fish those anyway,
wow.
But this is more of a minnow imitation bait, and we used it this morning, and we've got a 25-pound stringer already on 5 fish, and that's about the norm right now. I can get 5 fish, 25 to 30 pounds just about every day.
You know, and what's happening coming up, and I know Johnny's already booked this, that we've got the Bass Champs, and we have the I guess a Sealy tournament or something coming up over there. No, it's Skeeter Owner tournament. That's what it is, and the Bass Champs coming up. And some of these people that have never been before are going to use Johnny to get knowledge to go fish these tournaments.
Oh, you bet.
And you know, and that's a great deal, because if you've never been and you're going to go one time a year, why not go to the best and go to Johnny and get a heads up on at least how to approach the tournament?
Now, Johnny, how many guys will you help in an upcoming event like that? Do you have a limit on how many guys you? I had this happen to me at Texoma. Come to find out, the same guide that 4 of us had used put us on all the same group of fish, and we were not too happy.
It's more of, to me, I think that the value in getting a guide or getting that kind of information is the pattern, not the specific spot, because they're not schooled up at that time of the year. You just want to pick out the long points, the pond dams, and just have 4 or 5 good places to rotate between that there are some good quality fish. But most people that fish this tournament, they don't know if they neither decide whether they're going to try to catch one over or go for the money and catch one under 16. So the spot, a lot of people said, don't show me where the big ones are, show me where the little ones are.
Yeah.
They win more. So.
You know, that is one of the biggest things, is that, you know, because I would assume that, you know, especially over the next month or so, the pattern's going to be relatively the same for whatever size fish you're looking for. A big fish is going to be doing about the same thing as another big fish in another part of the lake, but, you know, some of the smaller fish, you're going to start to see some schooling activity within the next 3 or 4 weeks.
You might zero in on a buck bass pattern.
Sure.
You know, rather than the females.
Yeah.
There's a little topwater bait called a yellow magic that they sell around the lake here. It's a bait, and it's awesome this time of year. You just throw it out and don't hardly move it for a minute if you can, and just pop it one time and they'll blow up on it. That was our spook, and to me, we're entering into the topwater season. That's most favorite time of the year right there.
The Yellow Magic that Johnny's referring to is like a little Pop-R. It's a smaller version of the Pop-R. They make two different sizes, but Sam Rayburn, you better have one tied on.
Really?
And you can throw a Pop-R.
See, I love a spook as good as anything in the world.
You can throw a Pop-R beside it, and you will not get bit.
Really?
Same size bait, you throw that Japanese bait out there, you fix to get jerked. It's the darnest thing I've ever seen.
Johnny, give us a tip.
Well, I'll tell you what I've learned, and this is a tip that we all know it, but we all don't do it, and that's to fish slower. I'm fishing this live bait, and I'm not sitting in one spot. I'm just moving down like I'm pitching wood with the jig on the trees. But once you get bit, stop right there. Drop the tie up or solar power pole, and within a casting radius, I guarantee you, if you give it 5 or 10 minutes, you got 3 or 4 fish that's 5 or 6 pounds, at least on this way.
Yeah. Great tip.
And that same tip goes for the topwater baits. Don't move too fast right now. The fish are up shallow. They're seeing a lot of baits, but if you've got the patience to just let them look at your bait, you're going to catch more fish than you normally do.
Johnny Geist at Lake Fork. Okay, tell us, brother, how are we going to book a trip with you?
Okay, call me at 972-800-3882. That's 972-800-3882. Watch my fishing reports on LakeForkBigFish.com, and I try to update that quite often. Anybody's coming over here, give me a call. I'll be glad to put you in the right direction.
LakeForkBigFish.com. Johnny Geist, thank you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Go knock them dead. Hey, finish those onion rings for us because they really smell good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
You know what he mentioned there reminded me one time. It was about this time of the year. It's probably been a good 25 years ago. Big old swell butt cypress tree on Caddo Lake. Threw up with a stick bait. Caught a 5-pound fish. And did exactly what Johnny was talking about. I caught 22 fish off of that tree before I left.
Oh, heck.
22 fish off of one tree.
Wow.
Now, they weren't all 5-pounders, but right. 22 fish on one tree. I still, to this day, have yet to catch more than 3 off of it at one time. But every time I have caught one fish, I've at least caught 2 off of that same tree.
There you go.
I cannot figure that one out.
I had a story, but I can't top that. not sober, I can't.
Where's it at?
I'll take you right to it. Okay. White House Point.
Okay, cool.
I can show you exactly where it's at. Okay. Hey, listen, stay close now. Here in a couple, we've got Elite Series Pro Kevin Short. He's going to talk about the hearing loss from your boat running it at high speeds down the lake. That's next, hooking up and tracking down 1130, The Tiger.
Hello, I'm Troy Umbehagen. We at Natchitoches Nursing and Rehabilitation proudly support and watch TV17's local programming.
The Natchitoches Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Victor Jones encourage all citizens to remember to be safe, buckle up, and remember, no texting.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities, such as traps, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Thousand Island Road, just before the Grand Ecour Bridge. Let's go eat at Hana's Steakhouse and Sushi Bar. They have all of our old favorites, or we could get something a little more exotic, like the Hibachi Grill, conveniently located at 814 Kaiser Avenue.
Here's your Mr. Twister. Best times to fish this weekend. We're heading into a full moon soon, so this Friday, the major feeding period will start from 9:20 p.m. till 12:20 a.m., 9:02 a.m. till 12:02 p.m. On Saturday, 10:05 p.m. till 1:05 a.m., and 9:46 a.m. till 12:46 p.m. Sunday, after you get out of church, there's only one major feeding period. It's 10:30 a.m. till 1:30 in the afternoon. That's the Mr. Twister Best Times to Fish. Catch more fish more often.
Welcome back to Hooking Up and Tracking Down on 1130 The Tiger. This segment presented by Toledo Town and Tackle, Natchitoches Ford Lincoln, Gamakatsu Hooks, and Honda Yamaha Village, your local North Louisiana power sport dealer. Now back to the trio that think they're a hero, but they're really a zero. Steve, Gary, and Mike.
That scares me how accurate he is.
I'm telling you.
Every week.
He must know our wives.
Right, dead on. On the phone now, Elite Series Pro Kevin Short. And Kevin, I got to tell you first off, the minute that you get on the phone with us, the minute you're on this show, you lose 10 IQ points. Does that scare you?
Well, I was just wondering what that heroes that are actually a bunch of zeros. What is up? That's your intro?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You're really scaring me.
Well, it should.
And I got to tell you, the one good thing I heard about that is there was a commercial leading into that for Toledo Town Tackle, and I got to tell you, whenever I go to Toledo Bend, that's the first stop that I make. Right there.
You and about 90,000 other fishermen.
Oh, man, and I'm telling you what, I'm glad they don't have big shopping carts there. I would be in trouble.
They'd pass up a stripper on the road just to go Toledo Town and Tackle.
Oh, no doubt.
But anyway,
I wouldn't.
Mike wouldn't. I know Mike wouldn't. The average guy might, but not Mike.
You know what's so funny is I can remember back 30 years ago going into Kurt's store, and it was back before they built all the new stuff there. And there was just Sabine Manufacturing behind the little store. And I can remember when the fish would really start biting on Toledo Bend, there would be a line, probably 100 people deep, just buying rattle traps.
Oh, yeah.
I've
seen that.
It's just absolutely insane. And everybody knows all you got to do is stop by Toledo Town, and you're going to get a really good idea as to what the fish are biting, what you need to be throwing. And it's almost like getting a guide in a store, right there, because you just watch other people.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, now, Kevin, one thing me and you talked about a little bit, off the air yesterday when we were talking on the phone. You had a great article, and guys, if you haven't seen it, I don't know if I got it with me, dadgummit. If you haven't seen this article, it's in Bass Times, this month's Bass Times. It's about hearing loss. Mm-hmm. And as a guy, personally, I've lost my high-frequency hearing ability in my left ear.
I only lost it with my wife.
Well, that's a different pitch.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
What'd you call it? Totally different pitch.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't use the other word.
Different, yeah.
Okay. Different volume level.
Okay.
I didn't see what you were thinking this is. Julie, trust me, Julie, I did not say that. I love you, girl. I love you. But anyway, the deal is, I never thought about it until I've turned 53 now.
Yeah.
Kevin comes out with this article, and it's a great article about hearing loss and what high-speed bass boats are doing to your hearing. Mm-hmm. Kevin, just go ahead and give us summarize that article real quick and what it was all about.
Well, I've got I have a friend, guy that I fish with, here when I'm home occasionally, and he is, he's one of the leading ENT doctors in the state of Arkansas, and he's a very knowledgeable guy. He's a tournament angler. He fishes tournaments, and he understands, the noises that we're subjected to. And when you're running a boat, and it doesn't matter if it's a boat that has a 90 on it, a 115 or a 250 on it, you're subjected to a lot of noise, not so much from the outboard, but from the wind. Okay. And it doesn't matter, what kind of windscreen, windshield, whatever. It's just that constant noise. And especially, you guys that fish there on the river all the time or on Toledo Bend, sometimes you're used to making 30, 45, even hour long runs one way.
Right.
Yep.
Well, you're talking, 75 to 110 decibels
for, 45 minutes to an hour, which I promise you, that's like way, way over, anything that's good for your hearing. And what Dr. Gardner suggested was come in, see his, and anybody that basically does hearing aid can build you a set of earplugs, okay? There's a couple of different types that you can get. He suggested coming in, visiting with his audiologist, and seeing, what would work the best. And we actually tried a couple of different ones. Tried a real soft foam that was actually, fitted to my ear canal, okay? And those were great, other than the fact that they completely cut out all noise. I mean, it was like, being in a vacuum noise, which I didn't really, I liked it because, obviously there wasn't any wind noise anymore, but I couldn't really hear what the motor was doing while I was, running down the river. So we went to, and the ones I like the best, they're actually, it's a real soft silicone. They actually make a mold. They shoot this goo in your ear that doesn't sound real good. But they shoot this soft foam goo in your ear, and they actually make an impression of your ear canal. Then they take that and they create a mold and cast some silicone plugs in there that actually have a little baffle in them. And what that baffle does is and you can get different baffles that will cut it. It'll like attenuate or cut down the noise 15 decibels or 25 decibels. They also have a little plug that will cut it completely out. Well, what I've been using is the little plug, the little silicone plugs with the 25 decibel attenuator in it, and I can carry on a conversation with you guys just fine. But when I start going down the lake, that little baffle kind of clamps down, and basically all it does is it just takes the top off of the noise, and it really, it really makes a difference at the end of the long run when you stop. You don't have that ringing in your ears.
Now, Ken, what's the cost on something like that to have those baffle silicone plugs made?
To have the silicone ones done, you're looking at, no more than a couple $100. I mean, they're not outrageously expensive. It's a lot. I'll tell you this. It's a lot cheaper than buying a set of hearing aids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now you're at one end of the scale, though. You take fishing to an extreme. You're a prime example of that guinea pig that got fed the arsenic every day, for several days. But I mean,
it fishes every day.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, you're kind of the baseline for that extreme end. But for the average weekend angler, what I want to know is, comparatively speaking, how much hearing loss had you experienced by the time you recognized the need?
I really hadn't experienced that much, okay? But what I knew that it was coming because last season, the very first event at the Sabine River, I was running an hour each direction to fish. And at the end of that hour, when I would stop the boat, either, when I'd get to my spot or when I'd get back to the ramp, I would have, a real high-pitched ringing in my ears.
Yes.
For a couple of hours. Mm-hmm. And after talking to Dr. Gardner, I knew, after talking to him, I'm like, man, and he's like, wow, that's when we started talking about this. And he's like, well, that's your ear trying to protect itself because you're abusing the voodoo out of it, the average guy is subjected to the same noises, whether it's for, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. The same thing now. He might not want to go to the extreme to get, a set of custom plugs made. Hey, that's fine, okay? But I would strongly suggest you wear, a mask that, like one of the safe face masks that covers your ears. wear a hoodie and pull the hood up, do something. Or even, hey, at the worst case, at the very least, if you know you're going to make one of those long runs, get some of those inexpensive foam earplugs and keep 2 or 3 sets in your boat and put, it doesn't take but just a minute, put them in, and that'll, it'll save you some trouble and some problems down the road.
Amen.
But
Well,
Gary,
that's great advice.
To answer your question, Gary, that you were asking about, the problem with it, hearing loss is so gradual that you really don't notice it. I had no clue I'd lost the high-pitch hearing in my left ear. Did not have a clue till I went to the ear doctor and had a test run, and he came back in, and he shocked me. He said, you have zero high-pitch hearing in your left ear now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not one of those things.
I didn't know
you wake up one morning and you're deaf.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a gradual thing that you won't even notice it until people start screaming at you like I have to scream at my dad.
Yeah.
So,
right.
He's 86 years old.
Well, and here's a point, too. I use an audiologist who 5 years ago I asked about boat noise, and she said it doesn't hurt you. She has never been in a boat. The best thing that happened to you, Kevin, is you dealt with an audiologist that had the knowledge of being on there. You did that. And I'll tell you what, 30 years on the fire department is where I got my hearing loss.
Oh, yeah,
okay. Now, $200 for a set of ear molds is like 25 cents to save your hearing.
Yeah. Right.
And the other thing is, I duck hunt. Joey Hood's got incredible hearing. He has shot a shotgun way more than I have. Mm-hmm. He has no hearing loss. You can't just say this does this to everybody.
Right.
No.
It affects people differently. So the bottom line is start young, protect your hearing at all time because you can't get it back.
Right.
Yes. I honestly don't see any now. I don't see any difference between protecting your hearing and protecting your eyes.
Right.
I mean, I don't ever. Of course, I wear glasses, but even if I didn't wear glasses, I would never get in a boat or never fish without a pair of sunglasses on, or some type of glasses to protect my eyes. I've seen too many freak accidents with hooks, weights, hitting people in the eye that weren't wearing glasses, and I'm like, why in the world were you out here without a pair of glasses?
I wished I had been practicing safe listening all my life.
my safe viewing.
My good buddy, the doctor told me one time, he says, you don't have to protect all of your eyes and ears, just the ones you want to keep.
Yep. There you go.
Kevin, we appreciate you, Kevin. Thank you for being with us today and sharing your knowledge about hearing loss. And, again, we followed you on the tournament trail. Good luck at Toledo Bend, and we'll see you there.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
All right.
Oh, when are they going to be at Toledo Bend?
May. They'll be there in May, the Elite.
Do you know Kevin?
I got it right here. May 1st through the 4th.
Okay. Fantastic. Man, I'll tell you, that's just what?
2 weeks off?
Yeah. It's Easter Sunday this week, bro.
Oh, yeah, dude. Year's flying. It'll be Christmas for long.
Golly. Stay close. We'll wrap things up here in just a minute. Get Mike's or Steve's final word. It's hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place. Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
This segment of Hooking Up and Tracking Down on 1130 The Tiger is presented by the Gear Grabber Lure Hanger System, Midway Marina, and Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, your Ranger Boats headquarters for the Arklatex. One more time, here's Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles.
Hey, thank you for hanging in there again with us this afternoon. And thanks to all the guests we've had. Of course, this week, Lake Fork guy Johnny Geis and our fishing report from Lake Fork. He says the big ones are essentially just jumping in the boat right now. Here just a minute ago, Elite Series Pro Kevin Short some really sage advice about trying to take care of your ears. One of the things that I found here a couple of years ago, and I don't know exactly where I got them from, but you might look this up. They're kind of like a wax, almost a paraffin type of an earplug. And he was talking about, making sure that they fit into the ear canal and everything. Well, these things, they're almost like bubble gum.
Yeah.
You can roll them up into a ball and you stick them in there. The trick's getting them boogers out.
Yeah. Right.
So you kind of want to pinch a little tab on the end of it when you stick it in there.
Right.
I've put 2 of them together. Always make sure that I got a way to get something out of there. But the long and short is, do something to protect your eyes and your ears.
I could go there, but I got something in my head.
See? That's the way this. One of the things, though, that I had a young man.
Put a string on it. I've seen that work. You stole my thunder.
There's some things that don't need to say in there. All of our archive shows. I had a young man ask me on my Facebook page, was there any way to listen to the old Hooking Up and Tracking Down shows? And apparently, there's a lot of guys that miss some really good quality information that's on there. Yes. Right there at HUTD.net, hookuptrackdown.net, the website. There are archive shows now. I did notice the other day that we're a couple of weeks behind right now. So give us a little have a little patience. We will try to get that updated. And Steve's was it brother-in-law? Nephew. Steve's nephew handles that. He's got a real job that he has to handle, and he tries to take care of us.
Tell me, he can't come to the family reunion until he gets work done.
Yeah, well, we have some technology issues here between the station and Richard, and so some of the stuff is just now getting reposted again. So just be, like I said, be patient.
Yeah, and on our Facebook page, just go to facebook.com/hookingupandtrackingdown, and you'll be able to see that kind of stuff there. Then Steve puts up these great tips. Things of that nature, whether it be you're wanting to catch fish on spinnerbaits or
right.
We need to get Johnny to put some tips on there about live bait fishing, because it might be that you could use something that you've learned from Johnny Geis and fishing the brim or these what do you call them?
The black salties.
Black salties.
Yeah.
Fishing those. Because there was a lady on Caddo Lake. It's been 10, 12 years ago now. Caught a huge fish out of Ames Spring Basin. Fishing live brim.
Yeah.
It will work on Caddo Lake as well.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it seems to work better where you've got a really, really good defined hump or something along those lines, like what you get on Lake Fork, where you've got, maybe a 7-foot ridge falling off into 19 foot of water, something like that. But, those same principles will apply on Caddo or another lake around here.
Another thing we've got going on our Facebook page is I've got product of the week that we've posted up. The Mr. Twister is called the Easy Scaler. It's a new product that's come out in the last year or so. It's an attachment that goes to Mr. Twister fish cleaning knife that you have. It's an accessory, that you buy for that, and it will descale all your panfish. And there's a video I've posted already on our Facebook page that will illustrate that, and it is a cool tool that you need. If you're a pan fisherman, you got to have one. Instead of the spoon, and doing the spoon, they go everywhere.
Remember the old days?
This thing is awesome.
Remember the old days down on Toledo Bend? They used to have those dryers. Throw the fish tumbler in there. I'm telling you, that was the greatest thing. So if this works that good, I'd get me 2 of them.
Yeah, there you go.
I got my little brother getting that thing one time. Knocked all the bark off of him. Hey, I want to invite anybody that to remind you to come out tomorrow night, Cross Lake, 4:15. We have the 3rd event, the Cash Splash Thursday night tournament out on Cross Lake. Registration starts at 4:15 at the public ramp right past Ford Park. Fish about 3 hours, and we pay 17 places bonus bucks plus 1 per 5. We've been paying, running about 22, 23 places of money back just out there for 3 hours fishing.
Wow.
Also, and also coming up May the 3rd, the Natchitoches Fishing Show, which we had Burley Johnson on last week to talk about that and gave us a good report as to all the vendors. It's almost doubled in size in 1 year, going into year 2. Burley Johnson's done a great job. I don't want to call him coach because he's an old coach.
But if you're looking to get into fly fishing,
oh my gosh,
man, that's a one-stop shop for all the knowledge, the products, everything that you need.
But he's going to have some bass fishing seminars as well. My old team partner, Brett Hortman from West Monroe, Ranger Pro staffer, he's going to be there to make a presentation on bass fishing. I forgot what topic he said he was going to zero in on, but anyway, Brett will do a good job with that. So if you want to learn a new technique possibly that you're not aware of, Brett will be the guy there doing a seminar.
I also still need a few more volunteers for the BASS Open Tournament next week, 24th and 5th, 6th, down on up Lake Bistineau. Give me a call if you want to work.
And we'll be at Bob City next week, so we'll see you there.
Big Bass Splash, Lake Sam Rayburn.
Final word, even though we mostly talk about bass fishing, today we salute the pan fishermen. This group of anglers makes up a large portion of the fishing world. They're just as dedicated to succeeding as are, and just as creative with the best methods and techniques for not putting fish on the scales, but putting fish into hot grease. They make our family gatherings much more enjoyable with hush puppies, fresh brim, or even better, crappie. Nothing brings people together better than a good old fish fry, and the pan fishermen know how to make that happen. Till next week, may God bless. We'll see you next week with more Hooking Up and Tracking Down.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities, such as traps, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecour Bridge.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? It's like wearing your high school letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Welcome back to this week's Hooking Up and Tracking Down Tip of the Week. I'm Ranger Boat Pro Staffer Steve Graff. Over the years, I've had a lot of products that I have purchased to add on to my boat. Anything from trolling motors to electronics. There's nothing that's come out in the last 25 or 30 years better than the Minn Kota shallow water talon anchoring system. This is a unit that'll go down up to 8 feet. It will anchor you tight to where you're at. It'll lock you down. If you're brim fishing, if you're white perch fishing, you gotta have one of these. If you're a bass fisherman, like to sight fish, you can drop this thing down, locks you in place. You can sit there and sight fish for that one bass all day long and not have to pick up the Minn Kota talon shallow water anchoring system. You can leave it down, fish that one sight fish, and you're ready to move, go to the next fish, hit the up button, comes right up. The best feature about this Minn Kota talon system, it's all enclosed in this unit. No pumps go in the boat, nothing else. Everything is tied directly in this unit. So the next time you get ready to purchase a shallow water anchoring system, check out the Minn Kota. It's the best one on the market. I highly recommend it. And you can get them at Toledo Fiberglass or Bayou Outdoor Supercenter in Bossier City. Hello everybody, Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff with the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show. Folks, there's nothing I love more than my Rhino. I've had 3-wheelers, I've had 4-wheelers, but if you want the best of the best, you need to get you a Rhino 700 from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches. My Rhino does more than take me to and from the deer stand. It is a great utility vehicle around your house. You can use it for all kinds of stuff, including yard work. I've got it loaded down right here. But one of the best features of the Rhino, it's got a dump bed right in the back of it. So go see the guys at Honda Yamaha Village of Natchitoches, Chip, Layton, and the gang over there, and let them show you the new Yamaha 700 series from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches.
The Natchitoches Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Victor Jones encourage all citizens to remember to be safe, buckle up, and remember, no Texans.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter and fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Santone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
You're watching KNTS Digital 19 in Natchitoches, Louisiana.